Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the virtual breakfast sessions. I'm Larry Sashin, and today we have a great group from Rockland County Community College to speak about their how they help their students attain a position in culinary, get how they get the leg up on getting a job. But before we do that, we have to thank the people who are paying our bills. Ed Flanagan in the Era Group. Hey, I've been saying this for years. If you are a little bit sketchy on are you really getting what you pay for, or are the counts right, or the price is right, and maybe is my contract right with the distributors, call Ed Flanagan and the Era Group, and their people will sift through your bills, will sift through the invoices, will sift through the contracts to make sure you're getting exactly what you pay for at the price you agreed. So call Ed Flanagan and the Era Group. And back to the show, Rockland Community College. But before we go into the show, hey, why don't you introduce yourself, Matt?
Sure. My name is Matt Siciliano. I'm the program director here at Rockland Community College for the Hospitality and Culinary Arts program. I've been with the college about 6 years. I've been program director for the last two and a half. Prior to that, I've been in the culinary hospitality industry for close to 30 years now. I'd say the last 20, the majority of it in more baking, pastry, fine dining, restaurant kind of environments, and teaching the last six.
Okay. Mark, say hi.
My name is Mark Davidoff. I'm the director of the Hospitality and Culinary Arts Center here. So I run the facility and do community programming, which includes
Oh,
summer camps for grades 4 through 8. And we also work with developmentally challenged adults in May and June. And we also do adult cooking classes called enthusiast classes throughout the spring and fall semesters.
okay. Thank you. Say hi, Fred.
Good morning. I'm Fred Klashman, the editor and publisher of Total Food Service. Looking forward to a great session.
Okay. So, once again, I'm Larry Sashin, and we're back to culinary education leaders. This time we're speaking to Rockland Community College. So I'm going to do something a little backwards here. Instead of going building blocks from the foundation up, we're going to go straight to the gold ring. The gold ring. How long have you been doing this, Mark? And what is the goal of what's your vision of a successful student?
I've been at Rockland Community College since 2019, and we're growing the program with Matt here now. Matt's a wonderful instructor, very talented individual, uh, uh, with skills that are remarkable. And our goal obviously is to help people find employment in the industry, particularly in culinary, but we also do hospitality as well, and to be able to develop a career, not unlike the ones that Matt and I have experienced in New York. Growing, having had a skill set that enables them to move forward and grow as individuals and as culinarians and hospitality professionals. And I think we also provide them with some opportunities here for things like doing caterings. We get inquiries, and I'm able to refer those to the students themselves and then help guide them in conducting those types of events. We get a lot of inquiries from people that are looking for interns or looking for students. It's remarkable how desperate the hospitality industry is for workers, for skilled workers. It's just we're starving. The hospitality industry is starving for skilled workers.
So, I hear from restaurateurs, I tell them, there's a lot of colleges, there's a lot of high school programs, and they say, well, I'm a little nervous hiring somebody straight out of school, especially when they're still in school. Matt, why don't you talk about the preparedness of the students that you send out to do these internships and small jobs?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it comes down to the goal for us is to have students graduating that are ready to step in day one on the line in Garmager in that prep cook position, in a catering, in a restaurant, and whatever they're choosing to get into. And a lot of that is coming down to the attitude and the techniques and the overall foundational skill set that we're training them every single day in the classroom. It's something that I tell a lot of students, starting day one, it's that it's your work habits and your commitment to excellence that's going to be the differentiating factor in your career. Because at the end of the day, if you're very teachable, if you're hardworking, anybody would love to have that in an employee that they hire. And so for us, like all of those basics, all those foundational technical skills are obviously important, but it needs to be more than just the technical education part of it. It needs to be more than just dicing the onion. It needs to be the mindset. It needs to be the attitude that I'm here to work, I'm here to learn, I'm here to improve myself every day. Um, Looking for opportunities around you every day in class to advance yourself, and that if they can be focusing on those things when they're with us, the program they're in, they leave, they're training their mind as much as their hands approach the work, how to view the job, how to view their long-term growth within the industry.
Okay, you're having a little bit of technical problems there, so not a problem. We'll keep going. So we found the gold ring. We've grabbed the gold ring. For anybody who doesn't know, when you used to ride on a carousel, they used to put out these gold rings, and you used to go by, and if you grabbed enough gold rings, you got a free ride on the carousel. So that's when I mentioned the gold ring. That's it. It's not an engagement ring. Nobody gets married at their school. So let's talk about the building blocks. You get these raw students in that decide, I want to be a chef. I saw Gordon Ramsay on TV. I saw all these famous people on TV. What do you want to be? I want to be famous. How do you start building on that from step by step? Mark, why don't you talk about that?
So I think it's very much what Matt was talking about. Absolutely on point. It's not just the skills itself, but it's also the attitude and being able to learn how to work as part of a team and having the drive to want to succeed and excel and work hard and learn. And so we do present the students with some opportunities here. We do events here at the college where they're able to provide those services. We just did an event we partnered with the Performing Arts Department and we did dinner in a theater, right? And so we did a buffet and then they went into the theater and watched the play Anything Goes, which was performed by the Performing Arts Department. It was very successful. They want to make it an annual event. We also had Middle States accreditation here. So a while back, we did a cocktail reception for them. The students get to work these things, they get to see them hands on, so they learn from that as well. So we do a lot of events like that. All the students are invited to attend the enthusiast classes that I do throughout the semesters so that they can work and help the people attending those classes and learn those skills as well, because they feature different ethnic cuisines and things that they might not otherwise learn in class. And it's an opportunity to get out there and work and have a hands-on experience. So there's a lot of different ways that we try to engender that work ethic and those skills.
Okay. So Matt, let's talk about those building blocks. You can't student doesn't show up in your class and that weekend they do an event. How do you get them from point A to point B?
So starting from day one of their first classes, I always try to impress upon them that regardless of whether or not they think they are a professional at that point, the second you're entering culinary school or hospitality program, the industry is basically seeing you as a professional at that point, because when you graduate, they're going to expect certain things from you. So for me, it's more about looking at it from the educational side about what has to come before, what can be overlapped. So when we're going through, say, our culinary fundamentals class, Culinary Fundamentals 1, and again, it's the same building blocks that you're going to get in most programs, but how we're approaching it, I feel, makes us um, a little more available to a lot of other students. Okay, so you're going to get the same. This is a ratio for a stock. This is mise en place. This is how you dice an onion. This is how you make a chocolate chip cookie. All of those same things are going to be found in most programs, or any program, I'd say, with sufficient depth. But for us, it's about realizing that every student is going to be coming into that program at a different level, and they are all needing to leave at a much higher and higher level every single day. So we do have people, and they've come in, they're career changers, or they've just been cooking at home for fun for a long time, or maybe they've been working in restaurants for a couple of years. And the way we do it is by treating each individual student at their own skill level. So it's not unrealistic that in one particular class, I might have some students who have never touched a KitchenAid mixer before, and other people who have already been working in restaurants. So the lesson has to be the same. It's given at a depth to hit that, say, like middle 75% of the students, because that's where most of them fall. You're all second, kind of, I wouldn't say so.
Matt has a problem. We have a problem with your. Can you pick up on that, Mark?
Well, that's one of the things I think that Matt's brought to the program that didn't happen before. And that is that Matt and the other instructors here, because of the size of the classes being between 12 and 15, enables the instructor to spend a lot of time with each student and give them the kind of direction that each student needs so that they can grow according to their skill set. Like Matt said, we have students coming in here that have already worked in restaurants, that already have certain skills. And we have other students that have never done any of that work. And so, you're going to have to teach somebody how to dice something properly, or how to make a julienne and a brunoise, and how to do knife cuts, where the other person already knows that. So they can advance at a different rate and at a different pace. And the individual instruction, good move.
How are we doing?
Is
Sorry.
to make
Oh.
that.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
not a problem.
So it's extraordinary that Matt could do this. He does it. I witnessed it. And it's amazing and extraordinary. And if I had a child that was in this industry and was taking classes, I would want them to learn from Matt.
So I have a question for you, Matt, and this leads directly to what you were talking about before you went into the twilight zone. You have people with different levels. How do you keep the upper level person engaged when you're teaching to the middle? Because you can't just bury the uninitiated.
No, so like I was saying before, I cut out there. So that middle 75% where most people are going to comprehend, where it's not too fast or too slow, that's the target at the start. So everyone's going through that. You can usually tell within about a minute or two of starting a demo or a lecture who's with you, who it's above, and who is already knows it. So after you get through that, a lot of it's more about finding the people, and you can usually identify by day 2 who those people are always going to be. And then it's a matter of kind of preparing 3 different classes within the class. And it's little things. It's whatever, if we're prepping out potato dishes, and maybe it's the middle group is doing a parmesan or pommes boulangère, or some of those classic French dishes. Maybe you have the people who can handle that prep very, very quickly and move through it. So you're immediately starting to add in more to their workload every day. So you pull them aside or in a small group and be like, hey, I understand that you're at a level where you can move through this very quickly. So what I'd like to do is open up these other projects to you. In addition to this, I know you're going to get through it very quickly. I'd also like you to prep out a tortilla español or another preparation, or pommes dauphin or something like that. You give them the recipes, they're good enough where they can handle it. I check in, come back in 5 minutes, and then when they're ready, I can call a demo on their station, and then everybody can be seeing all the other stuff that's happening, but they can be the ones that are handling that extra workload and going deeper into those topics.
So what does the typical day at Rockland Community College look like?
So in a kitchen class and one of our lab classes, I'll generally start downstairs in our classroom for about a half an hour to 40 minutes, just giving a recap of what's coming up. By that time, all the students have all the information that they'll need for that day. And honestly, it's given to them at the start of the semester, all the recipes, the production schedule, all that's provided at the start so that they can start getting in the habit of thinking, this is what I'm doing on day 4, next Wednesday, reading through the recipes, getting their mental mise en place in order. And that's another opportunity for all those students who are maybe a little more advanced. That's the opportunity where I can be pushing them. Be like, hey, I know you have this going on. Make sure you're prepping this out. Come in with one other thing you want to work with that is about this topic, or another preparation or another sauce, and we can work on that. And then in the half an hour, that's when we're having our lecture. We're talking about major topics, getting a flow of the day, just so that when we get up to the kitchen, we can just hit the ground running and we don't have to get bogged down with all of those. Chef, what are we doing next? Chef, what's the plan for the day? Those sorts of things. But a lot of it comes down to the organization of it. With them having all of the information at the start of the semester, for me, I find it very helpful to put a lot of that onus on them because it immediately makes it real to them. I don't assign homework assignments because I feel like they have enough going on outside of their lives, where I try to just encourage them to be reading about the industry, viewing content, and doing their own research. But giving them all of that information to prep gives them the chance before they come in to start the process of, this is what I need to do when I come in. And that's also folded into part of their grade and how they're doing in the class.
Okay,
And then
sounds
upstairs,
very much like the start of every day in a restaurant.
correct.
You have a meeting first, you lay out what's going on, and then you go to it. So you're getting them into the rhythm of actually working in a restaurant. So you mentioned something about placing them in jobs, and this is what everybody, everybody wants to be a chef. Everybody wants to be a chef, but everybody also wants to work. They also want to work. They want to get out there. They want to apply their skills someplace other than a classroom. What is your success rate in placing them in local restaurants, catering halls, whatever?
So the success rate isn't something that we're actually monitoring semester to semester. It's more working with the individual person as they're going through the program to prepare them for what they're trying to get into. So we have some people who have been in the industry for a little bit. It's just a matter of having the conversation about, hey, this is what you've been doing and this is what you're learning. But you've been here a year. Have your thoughts changed, and gearing them towards that. We don't have a placement system where I call up local restaurateurs and place people, but we do have all of those contacts. And again, that's part of what is the student's responsibility in their own development. So when they're going through the program, all of these small steps to encourage them to be taking more responsibility for their life and their career and the work that they're doing, it kind of culminates in that externship in their last semester, where we're having the conversation. Okay, this is a trial run. Get your resume in order. You know you're going to be taking this class. Come and see me. We'll sit down. We'll get your resume tightened up. We can do mock interviews, whatever you need to be ready to get these things going. And then it's about teaching them how to go about finding the job, not about calling up a friend. Because yes, the networking is important, but they need to get to a point where they can iron a shirt, go in and shake somebody's hand and say, hello, I'm an extern from Rockland Community College. I'd like to work here. Can I come in and trail? Something like that.
So what is the demographic of the student that shows up at your door?
All over the place. I would say 60 to 80% right out of high school, another 30% or so, depending on the semester, career changers. Majority from Rockland County, obviously, but we have people coming from Sullivan. We have people coming from Ulster, Orange area, up in Newburgh. I've had a couple of people coming in from Northern Jersey, a few people in from Westchester.
And we offer the same rate tuition to everybody coming here. In other words, you get in-state county tuition, whether you're coming from New Jersey or Westchester or Sullivan, you get Rockland County tuition rates here.
That's pretty amazing in itself. That's pretty, in a time where money is king.
And I would like to interject one other thing about the community itself. Nyack itself is 1.6 square miles, has 7,000 people, has 50 restaurants. 50.
Wow.
And we also have a hospital, Nyack Montefiore Hospital. And we have some nursing facilities as well, and a long-term healthcare facilities. And all of these people, need restaurant workers. They need cooks. They need hospitality people. They all need food service workers. And so there's lots of opportunity. You just have to want it.
Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen with the advent of AI taking out a lot of traditional jobs? Do you think it's going to create a larger demand in your world?
I don't know if it's gonna change the demand. I don't see AI replacing what we do. I don't think AI is gonna get to the point anytime soon where it's replacing cooks on the line. I think the incorporation.
No. I'm not talking about in our industry. I'm talking about in the job market in general.
Oh yeah,
a lot of jobs are going to get wiped out. I think this is a place where we're always going to need people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to cause huge disruptions. I mean, you're already seeing it in tech. I mean, Oracle, I think, laid off like 20,000 people last month or something like that. And so you're going to get more of this as it cascades and starts to branch into other things. And if I had to guess, I think the immediate effects are going to be similar to the people leaving the finance space after 2008, where there is going to be a need for, not retraining is not the right word, but people are going to have to make different decisions in their career choice. And I think it's going to bring in a lot of people with skill sets not traditionally found in a kitchen. You're going to have mid-career professionals or people who may be 5-6 years out of college, people with advanced degrees who are used to that sort of high-level white-collar professional job. And they're going to bring a different demographic into the classroom. And I do think it's going to be great for the culinary industry because it's such a diverse market, and it's getting more and more diverse all the time, that you can have people in small towns upstate or, you get up into the Catskills region and you can be having amazing experiences and amazing food and amazing wine. And a lot of these people are people who are coming in with different backgrounds. They're not your traditional started as a dishwasher, went to culinary school and was grinding on the line for 10 years. You're going to get people who are incredibly business savvy, who understand quality.
A white collar worker moving into the industry.
Absolutely.
And also with that question, we've talked about the culinary side of the program. Is there a hospitality business side of the program that goes with what you're teaching?
There is, yes. So our associates program has two paths. You can go culinary arts or hospitality. Obviously, the hospitality has more of the lecture style, 3 credit hour, as opposed to the lab classes. And we try to pair some of that with the business department to get some business savvy, entrepreneurial skills, those sorts of things. But it's restaurant management, beverage management. It's a lot of those other skills that they can take into diverse areas, whether it be in, more traditional hospitality space, but even at a winery, in the Catskills or Long Island or something like that, where you're having these opportunities where it's not your traditional restaurant setting.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay. So, it's right. You're right when you start talking about the openings of jobs to people who normally went white collar. Now they're wearing white toque instead. And it is, like you said, you never say never that AI is going to take over, but it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while, and there's always going to have something, that little extra touch, human touch that adds an ingredient there and here and there and make it
Hey,
popular.
also, speaking of jobs, what about success stories of alums that have come out of the program and gone on to do interesting things? Can you touch on that a little bit?
We have several students who we're currently working with. They graduated last year. They're in the process of starting their own sort of supper club, small catering situation. A lot of students are actually taking that entrepreneur route, which I'm very happy about because it is a different game than it was when I graduated school. I mean, I graduated in 2007, and the pathway of the traditional going into a kitchen was still very much, I'm not going to say the only way because it was changing, but it's such a different industry that people are coming in without the intention of spending that 10, 15 years in a restaurant setting. And they're using other skills and interests, and they're starting out on more of an entrepreneurial path right from the start. And again, I think that's great for the industry because the demographic of the student and what people's lives look like are changing. And some of our students need flexibility in their life more than uh, someone who could dedicate 60 hours on the line. And so they have the ability through their training and their own experiences to be offering other things in the industry.
Okay. Well, listen, everybody, it's time is always our enemy, and we're getting near the end here. But before we go back to everyone to give their last little tidbit of information, I have to thank Ed Flanagan in the Error Group for paying the bills for this. Listen, if you're tired of paying your employee taxes, call Ed Flanagan and the Error Group. They have a 125 cafeteria plan that's founded by the IRS, where you can claw back some of that cash that you're paying in employee taxes. So if you like keeping some of your money, call Ed Flanagan and the Error Group. So back to the show. Rockland County Community College, thanks for inviting us in. And Fred, do you have anything to say about the show?
If you're a prospective student or would like to refer somebody to school, what's the best? Who do they get a hold of, and where do they find you?
I'd be the best contact. Matthew.Siciliano at SUNY Rockland. That might be a mouthful to spell, but if you go right to the main SUNY Rockland website, you can click through the different programs. Just search Culinary and Hospitality. It'll bring you right to our page, and my contact information will be there.
Thank you, Chef.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So, Mark, why don't you give that last bit of information that people have to remember after they leave the show?
So if you'd like to contact us, go to Rockland Community College website. And if there's a search bar in the top ribbon, search for whatever you're looking for, and you'll find it instantly. Actually, the website works quite well. Matthew's the guy to talk to about academics. I'm the guy to talk to about community relations and activities outside of the academic world here. We have extraordinary space here. We have extraordinary instructors here. All of us are seasoned industrial professionals, and you'll have an opportunity to learn real world experiences from all of us. So it's a great place to be.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Matt, that one bit of information that somebody that's thinking about joining Culinary and be picking up that knife and joining the group, what should they be thinking before they call you?
They should be thinking, is it something that they want to commit a lot of passion to? Because it's the sort of thing that you're going to get in and the fun is going to wear off like anything within the first couple of years of anything. Any new hobby, everybody has a story about the time they bought the whatever off Amazon because they were really excited. And then a year later, it's just sitting in your garage. So for me, it's about explaining to people that when you're coming in, you need to develop a mindset that you need to constantly be pushing yourself and challenging yourself to develop yourself as a professional. And it's something we do in class. Every course I'm teaching, there are things that I'm working on alongside the students. And it's not that I have a separate production thing, it's that I'll be incorporating things that I've never done into the class so they can see me real time learning how I'm approaching this. And I can think out loud and tell them, hey, this is how I'm approaching this. I've never made this. This is something I saw online. It looked really cool. I wanted to try it out. This is how I'm approaching it. And it's okay if that fails, because it's important that they understand that the learning process and the education process, it is in a straight line. You have an idea, you try it out, you taste it, you work through the process, and they need to learn that just as much as all of the dicing of the onion stuff. If you can go in seeing it as, yes, it didn't come out right the first time, but why? In analyzing it, that sort of mentality is what's going to sustain you for a career. If you're just in it to make nice food, that's a wonderful thing, but you're going to find something lacking in about 5 years when you're tired, because it's not going to be in your mind to keep churning and to keep developing. That's sort of the Kaizen mentality of improving every single day in everything you're touching.
Okay. So
I just
basically,
like that Matt is willing, for those people that are passionate about what they do, he's taken his personal time and spent time with them outside of the classroom to help them develop those skills.
back to passion. Back to passion. It is chopping onions is a machine's job. It's a machine's job, but you're people. And if you have that fire burning in you to join the culinary industry, Rockland Community College is a good place to look. So, we're going to be back tomorrow when we speak to the IRC and their director. But until then, two things. I want everybody to stay positive, test negative, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Bye now.
Thank you.
Thank
Nice
you,
job.
guys.
Thanks.
Wonderful show.